what to make of that, an environment that I think our guest agrees has picked up a little bit here, and the effects on, well, everything from Wall Street to Main Street to Florida Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis, who recently announced he is running for governor of Florida. Congressman, very good to have you.
Good afternoon.
If you had to look at the economy, and Florida is a very different case, I know it's become even more alluring real estate-wise for those escaping high-tax states under that tax plan, but what do you make of the changing fortunes for some Republicans? Again, we talk about these surveys and else, maybe a bit too much, that show people might not be predisposed to throw Republicans out of the House majority. What do you think?
Well, I think there's some truth to that, Neil. If you look at the midterms, even if there's normally a swing back against the incumbent White House party, those swings vary. Sometimes they're waves, sometimes it's a trickle of seats. And what I think the history shows, when things are doing pretty well and you're not involved in a major war, or you don't have a recession, that gives the party in power the ability to hold their own. And I think with the economy this time, we have a contrast that was developed based on this tax reform. If you remember, people like Nancy Pelosi said, not only would it not help the average American, but it was one of the worst bills that's ever been drafted. It was going to be Armageddon, all that. So that's where the ground they staked off. And then guys like me said, look, our tax system's not competitive. We've got to get with it, so we're attracting capital. And just in the 2 months, less than 2 months since the bill has been enacted, you see hundreds of billions of dollars earmarked for investment in the United States, jobs being created, wages increasing, and bonuses being put out. Well, are you for what one of your
colleagues wants to do here to make tax-free the bonus money that you get? His argument is that you should be entitled to that. He's obviously taken a cue from Nancy Pelosi to call it the Crumbs Act. But Todd Rokita, this Republican in Indiana, thinks he has a good chance of passing that, does he?
I think it's a good idea. I also think one of the things the Democrats said about the tax bill is, they're making the corporate tax cut permanent, but they're not making your individual rates permanent. So in 10 years, be prepared. I think we should call that bluff. The only reason it wasn't permanent is because of some of the budget math and the arcane rules. Put a bill on the floor to make the individual tax cuts permanent. I'll gladly vote for that. I think people like Pelosi would vote against it.
All right, because some of them come back and say, well, why didn't you make the individual rates permanent and not the corporate rates?
Well, I think the reason is because it's just a political calculation. It's much more likely that there's going to be incentive for both parties to re-up the individual rates and to extend it. With the business rate, that's an ideological thing, and so it may not have been a sure thing. So I think that provided business certainty, and then we can easily follow around right now, not having to deal with budget reconciliation. Just put a bill on the floor and let's make that individual rate permanent.
The president now is dealing with what could be an oversight investigation into this whole handling of the Rob Porter case. Do you think that he's got problems there, that the tone and the message he sent to women is coming back to hurt him? Maybe even you.
Well, so, I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you have spousal abuse, you can't serve in government. I mean, it's got to be a zero tolerance policy. I think the investigation will show what was actually known and when. Some of these background checks, if they say there was an allegation but they don't have a lot of meat on the bones, that's much different than actually having photos and having firsthand testimony, which I thought was very powerful once that emerged. So we'll see what happens, but I think as soon as the evidence came, if they acted, then I think they'll be fine. If they didn't, then there's going to be a lot more questions that are going to have to be answered.
All right, Congressman, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you again.
Thank you.